So you know how every time you hear there's this celebrity going on a media tour. Well, this time is not Kuami Eugene on a media tour, but his house help granting interview here and there, making some very interesting claims.
Mindidi so papa, and also can na ere. Na kwasi sa problem ni nyina.
Na woni di papa ada aduane ni fio. So say aduane wo ha wodi. Na woni di papa.
Aduane wo ho.
Na woni di papa.
Won say to de bia aduane to me san wo fie ho.
Na aduane ni ho.
Yeah, to de bia. To me de bia to me can rice. Na akade ni ho. Me to me ka chere ni ade. Anti no we ba ni sa opie ko a na me say bia o ma me ska na me fa yin de o say obeba sisi to de bia on bantenti. Say e bia hwe ni me ho a.
Yeah.
Hwe ni me ho a. Me fini atna sa ko pim tam obede.
Yeah.
Obeba.
Mediator. That's you know, she has made very interesting revelations about the fact that she's not being fed well, she's not being paid well, she's being paid.
She's being fed well in Ghana.
400 cedis.
She's being paid well.
And she also said she has collapsed like 3 times, living.
She should see a doctor.
You know, so my question is for a public figure like Kuami Eugene.
Masa forget public.
How responsible can they be in treating their house help to send a good signal and good example to their fans and society?
Who says he's not treating his house help well? Please. That's her side of the story.
Right.
And she decides to tell the parts of the story that one favors her, that she wants us to hear. I think it will be wise for such figures to have NDAs. Like, you should have agreements with people who work with you on how to manage information. And I think even for managers of a certain level in the corporate world, you have a non-disclosure. Is this? There's a name for it. NDA, and then how to manage information, right? Like clauses in your agreement that talk about the need for you to manage certain information that you are privy to by nature of the role you play. And such arrangements should be made as far as celebrities are concerned and the people who work with them are concerned.
You know the funny thing? When a lady narrates how she was hired for Kuami Eugene, it was a very casual arrangement. Exactly. A certain woman she knows say somebody needs a house help, and she didn't even know it was Kuami Eugene. Yeah. Somebody needs a house help. Tell you bet you 400 cedis a month. And then she goes and it's Kuami Eugene. She's already a fan of Kuami Eugene, so she's happy. Okay. She's excited. Imagine.
He's even lucky she's not taking pictures of his bedroom. Hey, look at me, Kuami Eugene's bedroom. I mean, and all kinds of things.
So the way she was high, the way she says it, of course, we don't know the details, but the way she said, like when I listen to her, I'm like, wow, like that's very casual. So I doubt there's anything like any formal agreement or anything that went on. Maybe when she joined the team, his management will now try and orient her on, okay, this is a celebrity, don't do this, don't bring people to the house, you can't take pictures. But Kuami Eugene himself has made her public, you know, because people didn't even know who she was. He's the one who made people know that he has a help, another hazard. Yeah. He's the one who made people know that, oh, this is the lady that has been taking care of my home. She's married. I admire the way she says she's a very hardworking girl. Do birthday parties for her. So you see, he brought her into the limelight because if it was a normal, like if she was known, let me say no, if she was not known and she as a house help in his house, and almost every celebrity probably has a help in the house, but people don't know them. So if she was not known and she had left, it wouldn't even be news. It's because he gave her that platform, actually. That's why people know that, okay, we can fish this out. Or she probably reached out to somebody to say, oh, so now it becomes news because the Kuami Eugene they know was like kind of proud and happy about her. So what happened? Now it becomes a story. So what Emmanuel is saying is like really true. How confidentiality clauses, non-disclosure, those things need to be taken care of.
About how casual they met. So how then do you then like initiate this signing of all of these things?
They shouldn't be hiring that
on
way
a
in the
casual
first
basis in the
place.
first place. That's what we are trying to say.
You shouldn't.
That when you value your reputation as Kuami Eugene, then the process you go through in hiring people who work in your inner circles becomes very important. It can't be casual. The person must be oriented on the kind of person you are going to work for, some of the things that come with it, some of the enticements you might get from people who want you. You see, Ghana is not we say the Ghanaian media and bloggers in Ghana and all of that are very vicious. They look for news everywhere. Please, they don't. Compared to places like the US and all of that.
They are paying people.
I'm telling you, anybody who works as a maid anywhere close to someone as big as Kuami Eugene in the US is game for enticements, for selling news, secrets, and all of that. And so that's how that person is supposed to be managed. Must be oriented that interviews that you grant pre-employment, during employment, post-employment can tarnish the person's image. You get my point? And then how you handle yourself and all of that. And that's what Sarah has said. Those people should not even be exposed to the media in the first place. Not by the artist himself or anybody close or the person herself. The employee herself.
I don't know. Maybe they had an agreement. We are not privy to, but you realize that when she was with Kuami Eugene, she wasn't talking to the media. I'm sure. I don't know. Maybe as you said,
because there was no need. You get my point. Now she's the news because she's being sacked.
And then again, I also don't understand what's the news again. People are sacked every day from their jobs.
When we're going through the elements of news, prominence. The prominent person there is Kuami Eugene. Even Kuami Eugene coughs, it's news. Depending on the situation of the cough. If Kuami Eugene coughs during COVID and doesn't cover his nose, then you realize that it's not just a mere cough. It's I get it. You know, but so that's, I really think that's the whole thing.
The most important part of they need to orient their people. And I think she came back to say that she's being threatened or something. Probably she signed something she's not even aware of. She probably signed a confidentiality clause she's not even aware of. Or she signed a non-disclosure clause she's not aware of. And she's breaching it. And if she breaches it, they can take her to court. But seriously, in Ghana here, what's money?
Ghana still takes too many things for granted. That's the problem. We take too many things for granted, and this should be a lesson. See, so this discussion is not even going to the merits of it or whether it's true or not. We are saying that this should not even be allowed to happen in the first place, and it should be a lesson to everyone that the people in your inner circles as a star are very important. Manage them well. And there's another side of the conversation we're talking about which is that, so how much control can an artist have or a popular person have around the news that emanates from the people in your inner circle? Because those people can be your employees today, happy employees today, you know, and you'll be doing nice videos with them, just as in this case, and then tomorrow they can become disgruntled employees, and then they are granting all kinds of scandalous interviews about you. Control what you can control, i.e. pay them well. Because when the court of public opinion starts looking at whatever scandal they are raising, it can go two ways. It can go against you or for you. Now, the ones that will go against you are one, whether you abuse them or not. You know, so you cut out every form of abuse. Then you pay them well. Now, Jennifer Lopez's maid will not be paid the same way as my maid if I had one. You get what I'm saying? And it is to ensure that that maid cannot go out tomorrow and say, Jello paid me $10. when the going price on the market was supposed to be $20 or $30. So you have to make sure that that never happens. There should be abuse of no form, verbal, sexual, whatever. Then you can be in trouble. Everything else, the public will be able to judge that this individual is crossing the line, taking advantage of the access he or she had to a popular person and is milking it. And we, the public, can draw the line.
But to
See,
be
so
fair,
that's where, not specifically Kuami Eugene's case, I'm just saying that in general, these are things that.
But I want to come back to Kuami Eugene. Why are people complaining again about 400 or 600 cedis salary? 600 cedis salary in 2023 for a house help who is a live-in is not scandalous. Because she's a live-in. So she's a live-in means her food, her water, her everything is supposed to be taken care of. All she has is to save. She's not paying the electricity bill. If she was leaving, we have people who are NAPCO can almost say
700 cedis.
700 cedis. That NAPCO person no for car juma. Obey the lunch.
We have Kenyan audiences.
Sorry. The NAPCO person who was paid 700 Ghana cedis. The person has transport cost in there. The person has lunch cost, breakfast cost. The person has his livelihood. The person probably lives in an apartment he rents. The entire livelihood of that person was in 700 Ghana cedis. Yeah. And this lady was being paid 600 Ghana cedis. And she doesn't have rent in there. She doesn't have electricity. She doesn't have utility bills in there. She doesn't have feeding in there. So please, is it because it is Kuami Eugene? That's why we are making the noise that it is not good enough. Because the minimum wage in Ghana, as at 2022, is 13 cedis, 58 pesos. 13 cedis, 58 pesos. 13 cedis, 58 pesos means that 53 pesos means she was being paid times 20. No, let's say she works 6 days a week. She wasn't even being paid more than the minimum wage.
But this is a worker who has come out to say that, look, I am a worker under you. I don't feel fairly treated.
In what way?
So even in a way that I don't get to eat square and fairly. Like,
who eats square and fairly?
Fairly. I'm looking at and collapsing and all.
So that collapsing thing, I even want to see, Master, if you have a name, you go to the hospital and treat it. Because
no matter how square the meal is.
So are you saying completely going to exonerate?
We are not exonerating
because we don't have
evidence. So we won't say. If you are saying that you've been collapsing in that place, you probably are sick. You need to go to the hospital to get it checked up. Well, if you are not eating well, as you are sitting here, if you don't eat well, you will feel sick. You have to go to the hospital for you to be diagnosed that maybe
you have
anemia, or it's lack of nutrients or lack of.
But wouldn't you agree that once she's under the roof of Kuami Eugene, that is his full responsibility?
So
health-wise,
you are our full responsibility. If you go and do your things and go and
health-wise,
my brother, please, your employer has certain obligations to you, right? And you have certain obligations to yourself. Even if we extend it to that your employer should have health benefits. You know the labor law better. Is it by force that you should have health benefits?
Not. That is why I'm sure companies without health benefits.
The health benefits should cover risks that come up from your work.
From your work, yeah. It's only to cover risk. That's the
this individual being a maid in Kuami Eugene's house, does her job expose her to collapsing risks? Is there something that she does?
It looked like she wasn't, and then she like personally, I want that she wasn't really clear as to what caused the incident. And then at some point she says she wasn't eating. At some point they ask her, "Do you buy food?" She says no. Like they provide food. So I'm not getting the connection between the food and collapsing. She probably was not well. And he wasn't around, and she didn't go to the hospital, of course, because she probably doesn't have money. So she couldn't go to the hospital. But wait, whether you are working with Kuami Eugene or not, Ghana says do national health insurance and go to a government hospital. If you take yourself to a government hospital and then they say that your bill is so and so, and then you call your boss and your boss says that I can't pay, then it is scandalous. Then now I will come and say, hey, how? But if you didn't take yourself to check into a hospital and then you collapse and you come and blame your boss, hell no, I won't take that.
So how do you, or what is the way forward when it comes to celebrities and public figures in handling situations like this, so it doesn't get to this level?
Master, there's no situation. This whole thing is very needless for me. The person going to look for the interview, the person giving the interview, it's all needless. Me, what I would take from it is, as a celebrity, Master, when you're getting people into your inner circle, let them sign serious clauses that prevents them from doing this. Yeah, let them understand it. Let them know when you do it, I'll come and be after you.
You say that someone who works in the information like a maid will not understand what an NDA is, but if you broke it down to them, that it means if you go and grant interviews revealing certain personal whatever about the person you are working for, you could go to jail. They will understand it, and they will not do that. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Even when
so
you work
that
for a
that
company,
should happen.
when you work for a company, when you leave, there's a certain number of years that you can't do that.
There's a confidentiality.
Do you get it? You can't just go about telling people, and then the narrative, the conversation is being spun. They're making it look. Yeah, I'm happy that they haven't spoken, and they should treat it as it is.
You know, I was coming to that finally from a PR standpoint of view. Do you think Kuami Eugene has handled this so well, or he could have done otherwise?
There's no need to speak about it. You see, there's no need to speak about it. It depends on how every brand. So if Kuami Eugene, for example, was carrying himself out as a clean, healthy, family-oriented, healthy brand.
Before you continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and add your comments and everything.
See, me myself, I'm spooked. Sorry, we apologize for that, but you subscribe. And so if he was carrying, from the PR point of view, if he was carrying himself, there's something called a reputational gap, which is the kind of image you want to put out there, and then the kind of identity you want to push out there, and the image that you are perceived as. If there's a gap there, then you fix that gap. Does this create a reputational gap for him? Perhaps not, because he's not pushing himself as a family-oriented, clean brand who does not... Clean brand in a way that how do I put it? A healthy brand, like a healthy brand, a brand that is saying that, look, my competitors can be whatever they are, but me, my position is that I am the kind who... the word is still clean. I don't know how to put it. So he's not pushing that brand. He's not pushing a family-oriented brand or a matured brand.
Okay.
Do you get my point?
Right.
So that you say that this thing that's happening now is contradictory to that brand. Even though, yes, I understand I shouldn't use clean because every brand is supposed to be clean. So yes, but it's not contradictory. So there's no need. He has not come to tell you that he's a priest or he's no. So there's no need. Let the facts fall where they are supposed to fall.
Okay.
You get my point. If there are specific things that she is saying that are factually not true, then yes, they can come out to say that this is factually not true. That's just a fact. It's not a PR thing. It's not true.
So what does this do to the girl? Granting all this interview.
We don't care about the girl. For all our celebrities out there, just make sure that the people in your inner circles are taught properly. You are having good contract agreements with them, and they don't air out your dirty laundry, because most often than not, all the things we hear about celebrities. So if you read Daily Mail a lot, you say someone from the team of or the inner circle of. This is the people around them that keep leaking. So if it is not intentional, because I know some celebrities in Ghana intentionally leak information to the press to create a buzz for publicity. If it's not intentional, your information is leaking, you have to go around and check the people. Actually can set traps for them. You say conversations just with some people, and when you hear it leak out, you know it is that person that is leaked it out. Then you cut that person out.
Right.
Yeah.
This is still Sauce and Pepper. Let us know what you think in the comment section. And whilst you're doing that, don't forget to subscribe. Till then, we're out.